Hey guys, Kiel here and you're watching Gamer. Today it is Microconsole Wars. So let the battle begin. Now, I'm putting the Ouya against PlayStation TV. Why? Because both of them are tiny and both had a launch price of 99 US dollars or 99 euro. Now, let's start with the Ouya. The Ouya is interesting. Why? Because it's the first of its kind, an open source Android console. Now, let's go back in time to 2011-2012. There, Julie Ehrman had an idea. That was the Ouya. But she needed money to develop the console. Solution: Kickstarter. Now the Kickstarter campaign brought in $8.5 million, which is like in the top 3 of most money raised through Kickstarter, which I think is amazing. So after that, she put a team together to start developing the Ouya. And voila! Here it is, in the flesh. Now, I followed all that news about Ouya's development until its release, because I find it fascinating that it came to be. So, the Ouya had its worldwide release on June 2013, and it wasn't really a success. The store I got my Ouya pushed the system real hard when it was released. They had promos, they had booths to show it off. They were like, really, this is gonna be something. But it wasn't. So now at that very same store, this year in March 2015, there were still a lot of Ouyas there. And the store needed to get rid of them. So I picked up my Ouya for only 49.99 euros. Which is half its launching price. Because the store needed to get rid of its stock. It was still the original stock from release. And they still had lots of Ouyas there that apparently nobody really want. Which is kind of a shame. So I got it real cheap. Now, my personal experience with the Ouya and its features. Because it's an open sourced console, you can make and publish your own games on it. Actually, I haven't really tried that yet, making the games. Because I don't know if I would be good at it. But it's interesting and it's there. Now, the games themselves on the Ouya are like classic, indie and pixel art games. From very cool classic to like, really, why is this game even there? It has a lot of games and everyone can publish on them. So it's very easy to put games on Ouya, but that doesn't always mean the quality is there. Also, it can run emulators to play like old NES, SNES or even N64 or Dreamcast games. Yeah, I know. Now, my biggest issue with this console is its Wi-Fi connection. It's absolutely terrible. It has Wi-Fi, but luckily also for a hardwire line internet connection that you really need to use, because it will always lose its Wi-Fi connection even though my Wi-Fi is good. Especially when downloading something on Wi-Fi, it's not done. You just can't do it. Also, very strange things happened when I was downloading games. Like for some reason, it would download another free game that I didn't even ask for. It was like, here you go, it's free. It's like, I don't want it, but still, it put it on my memory, and I had it for some reason. Yeah. So, in the end, it's a very mediocre console with kind of an okay controller. Controller is pretty basic. There's everything you need. 4 shoulder buttons, 2 analog sticks. But there all are like real dead points at the analog stick, which is a shame. But still, it's an okay controller. It has all the basics, but nothing more. But I'm still really proud to own this thing, because like, come on, it's a piece of gaming history already. It's like, it gives me the feeling like, yeah, we did it. People backed up something, and it's like the community made this console. Actually, Ouya did, but that's the feeling it gives me. Like, no big company is behind this. It's just one person with an idea and people backing her up. And that's how this came to be. So for that, I think it's very cool and very fascinating. So yeah. So all I can say is, if you find one cheap, just buy it. You're buying something special. Like really. This thing got made because Kickstarter raised funds for it. It's like, we have an idea, we want to get it released, and it got a worldwide release. It's just fascinating for me. Now, we have the PlayStation TV, which is actually a PlayStation Vita without the screen, the batteries, or the buttons. It just has an HDMI out port that connects to your TV, so then you can play your Vita games on your TV. But there is a problem. Not all Vita games work with the PlayStation TV. I know. Like, Killzone first didn't work with it, but they patched it, so now it does. But Street Fighter vs. Tekken, which is your standard fighting game, does not work on the PlayStation TV. Why, Sony? It's a fighting game. Now, probably a reason for that is that the PlayStation Vita has touch controls. The DualShock 3 does not. But the DualShock 4 does. So they need to patch that stuff out. So yeah, that all Vita games work with the PlayStation TV and with the DualShock 4. Because that's another big issue. If you buy a PlayStation TV, there's no controller with it. So if you do not know when you buy the system, like, how do I play it? Luckily it supports DualShock 3 and DualShock 4. However, third-party PlayStation 3 controllers do not work wireless. If you plug in the mini USB to the USB of the PlayStation TV, it will work. But still, wireless it doesn't for some reason, but it's okay. All the other ones do. So yeah. Now, if you compare these two in raw power, the Ouya is slightly more powerful than the PlayStation TV. However, the games on the PlayStation TV, like Killzone, look amazing for such a small device. Because of course, Sony, lots of money behind it to develop games are behind it. When Ouya, it's indie, it's people making their own stuff. So yeah, graphical quality, PlayStation TV of course has better games. or better looking games. Now, the PlayStation TV connects to the PlayStation Store. You can play all the older PSP games on it. Of course, you have to download them digitally. And of course, PlayStation 1's classics from the very first PlayStation. Now, one of the big features on this is you can connect it to your PlayStation 4 over the internet. What that does is, I'm playing my PlayStation 4 in the living room. My wife wants to see TV, put the PlayStation 4 in standby, put this on, and then with remote play, I can play my PlayStation 4 game through the PlayStation TV on my small screen here, over the internet. Now, if you do that, and it does work, you have to do it with a hard wire, because the PlayStation TV has Wi-Fi, but if you do remote play with Wi-Fi, there is very notable lag, and with like a hardwired cable, it's less. There's still some lag with like 60 frames games, like a Call of Duty or something online. You'll notice it's not really there yet, but it's cool, it has that feature. Now, these two microconsoles, my final thoughts. I hope the Ouya keeps on going, because latest news reports say the Ouya company is for sale. It has money issues, all kind of dark clouds above it. So I really hope it can keep on living and they can keep on putting games on the system, because it's just a cool little system. And of course, for the PlayStation TV, Sony makes sure all the Vita games work on this. Really, it needs to be patched out. Now, in the beginning I said, Microconsole wars, let the battle begin. It's not really a battle. They both deserve a place in this world. They're both cool in their own way. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So, all that I can say now is, enjoy and keep playing.